Today we're going to talk about, did Hitler survive the war? Now, this is a much debated topic, and I'm going to start out with allegedly the French did a study on his teeth and some skull fragments, and they published in the European Journal of Internal Medicine in May of 2018 to end the conspiracy about his death. So they say, if you want to believe them, our study proves that Hitler died in 1945, said the author Philippe Charlier. The teeth are authentic and there's no possible doubt. Now, in late April 1945, as the Soviet forces stormed Berlin, Hitler made plans for his suicide, including testing SS-supplied cyanide pills on his Alsatian Blondie and dictating a final will and testament. 2 days earlier, Mussolini had been shot by a firing squad and then publicly hung by his feet in a suburban square in Milan, Italy. A similar fate seemed inevitable. On April 30th, the bodies of Hitler and his new wife, Eve Braun, were found in the bunker with a bullet hole in Hitler's temple. In April of 2018, the English publication of the memoirs of a Russian interpreter revealed how she had been entrusted with a set of teeth in 1945 and tasked with cross-checking them against the dictator's dental records, and they matched, and they've remained in Russian hands ever since, the Telegraph reported. So, the Russians' FSB Secret Service and Russian state archives gave the researchers permission to examine the skull fragment and bits of his teeth. The piece of skull had a hole on its left side consistent with a bullet wound and the black charring around the edges. Though scientists weren't allowed to take samples from the skull, they noted in the study its shape seemed totally compatible to the radiographies of Hitler's skull taken a year before his death. Now, there are conspiracy theories that claim that Hitler has been seen. So, like, this picture was allegedly a disguise of his, and what I want you to pay attention to is the curve on the nose. The eyes, the glasses, kind of shade to give you not a real good view of the eyes, but that curve of the nose, see how the nose comes down and then makes a little bit of a curve? So I just want you to know that there are people who look like other people. How many times have you seen somebody and you're like, oh, they look like this person? So, it's even Kim Jong-un has a double that looks just like him. I mean, just like him. So there's a lot of disinformation that was propagated by Stalin's government. It's been a springboard for conspiracy theories since it happened. Most of the historians believe that Hitler killed himself on April 30th, 1945. So there are declassified FBI documents that contain a number of alleged sightings of Hitler, along with theories of his escape from Germany. The FBI states the information within these documents pertaining to the escape and sightings of Hitler cannot be verified. On May 30th, 1946, while Soviets were investigating rumors of Hitler's survival, 2 fragments in the skull were retrieved from a crater where Hitler was buried, and partial bones had gunshot damage. It was kept in Russia's federal archives in Moscow, and you all know that, there's so much disinformation and coming out of these countries that who knows what to believe. I mean, this is a huge conspiracy theory. In 2014, the book Grey Wolf, The Escape of Adolf Hitler by British authors Simon Dunstan and Gerard Williams, and a film by Williams was based on it, suggested that Hitler and Braun did not commit suicide but actually escaped to Argentina. The scenario proposed by these two authors is as follows. A number of U-boats took certain Nazis and Nazi loot to Argentina, where the Nazis were supported by future President Juan Perón. Now, who, with his wife Evita, had been receiving money from the Nazis for some time. Hitler allegedly arrived in Argentina, first staying in Hacienda San Ramon, east of San Carlos. Hitler then moved closer to the Chilean border, and around 1954, Eve Braun left Hitler and moved to Neuquén with their daughter Ursula, and Hitler died in February 1962. This theory of Hitler's flight to Argentina has been dismissed by historians, including Guy Walters. He described Dustin and Williams' theory as rubbish, adding there's no substance to it at all. Okay, so the Hunting Hitler on History channel has a series called Hunting Hitler that claimed to have found previously classified documents and to have interviewed witnesses, including that Hitler escaped from Germany and traveled to South America by U-boat. He and other Nazis then allegedly plotted a Fourth Reich. However, conspiracy theories of survival and escape have been dismissed by historian Richard Evans. All right, this is where we can turn to the tarot cards. By the way, this is Hitler as a baby. And this is Hitler with a CIA agent. So let's go ahead and ask our tarot cards. And because Hitler is so evil, I wanted to use the Haunted House Tarot deck. I wanted to use this deck to ask, did Hitler survive the war in 1945? Now, this will be a short video if the answer is he's dead. Well, then we're done. Did Hitler survive the war in 1945? Here it is. Oh, interesting. The Queen of Wands. And there's a light shining on her, and there's a crown there. I'm not going to know by just this card alone. So now I'm going to have to ask, or I'm going to have to pull another card. I'm just going to prop them up there so it doesn't glare. I'm actually going to use some of these other cards to prop them up. Oh my God, that freaking looks like Hitler. Get out of here. Oh my God, you can't make this up. The mustache. Oh, there's the world and there's a gun. So here's Hitler with a gun in another part of the world. I got to pull one more card because this could be that he shot himself, that he took a gun and shot himself. But we got to pull one more card. This is it. This is it. This is it. Did he shoot himself? Did he survive? It's interesting that there's a gun in that one, that I chose to use this deck, and there he is with a gun. Why do we keep having all these women show up? The Three of... Oh, this could be swords. Oh my gosh. There's a woman. Why are these women showing up? So did he kill himself with the gun or not? I might have to go to another deck. And that looks like another house. So we have the Ten of Pentacles, and then we have a compound here. I'm not convinced that he died, but I always like to ask another deck. So I'm going to push this one out and ask the universal weight. The same question. Did Hitler die in 1945 in the war? Did he die in 1945? This is like yes at his own hand. And there's the weapon. So I have a feeling that the cards indicated when they showed him with a gun here that he actually did shoot himself. Because this, here's my agreement with the cards. If anything I ask can be answered with a yes, then bring an ace. And here we have an ace. And here we have, he took a gun, obviously not that long of a gun. I don't know what size gun he used, but this is at his own hand. Here's a hand. And this is my yes card. Did he end his own life? Yes. Did he die? Yes. I think he's dead. So why, then I have to ask, why are there all these conspiracy theories that he lived? Are all these conspiracy theories that he lived? Because of all the fighting going on in the country. I think somebody wanted a conspiracy theory that he lived. But things were miserable back then. And people were suffering. Absolutely. He caused a lot of suffering. Well, I'm going to trust the cards, and I'm going to trust the science that I'm going to trust the study, and I'm going to trust the cards that he died at his own hands. I think he was so afraid. And you have to remember how much propaganda was in that country at the time. I mean, you didn't know what to believe in that country because everything was a cover up. But I do believe that his biggest fear was being killed by someone else. And even though his personality would be, to try to flee, I don't think that was possible for him to flee. And I really am not going to tap into him, but I am going to tap into a card or to somebody who on the other side would know. So I'm going to ask, is there anybody on the other side who knows whether Hitler committed suicide? If you could come through this deck, Steampunk, and tell me, is there somebody out there that knows if Hitler committed suicide? You're on the other side now. Ooh, his wife knows. Will you speak to us? This is 10 of Cups. Eve, will you, or whoever, Eve, I think, is Eve Braun. Can you tell us, did he commit suicide, Eve? Did he commit suicide? Yes. We got another ace, you guys. It is his own hand. Now I've pulled 2 aces to a yes question. All right, Eve. And she's like, we are together. Which we don't care because he was so evil. I don't really give a crap what happened to him after he died. He was the most evil man that ever walked the face of the earth. But now I have double verification that he did die in that bunker and he did kill himself. So, okay. In my mind, I have closure on that. If you don't, put your comments below. I'd be interested to see what you think and what your opinions are.